Hey guys, you ever goon to your AI girlfriend? No? Me either. No, I'm kidding. But the most important message that's gonna be in this video is basically to love yourself. You do not need any of this. No AI girlfriend, no nothing. To actually have true companionship. I promise you. This video was made by Rarity is here. He's a great content creator. I'll link the original video down in the description. And anyways, let's get into this.
So, AI. It feels as if
What's
people
up,
have been
Pigeon?
talking about it non-stop for at least the last 2 years. I still
What
have
the
a
hell?
cold, by the way. AI went from something that was relatively a lot less mainstream to something that is almost talked about daily. It used to serve as videos like Will Smith eating spaghetti with PS2 graphics, that's being generous, and it was essentially a very accurate lucid dream, pulling things out of nowhere and just
Yeah,
having
that
no
is definitely a
structure at
fever
all.
dream, that's
But
for
2 years
sure. What the
later, you have to look closely now at the screen to see one of the many telltale signs that it is AI, like hands with additional fingers, flickers in the background, or simply unrealistic proportions.
I think AI is eventually just gonna be a bad thing. Just cause, bro, in about like 3 years, how are you gonna tell the difference between like obviously this is AI, but how are you gonna tell the difference between AI and actual real life? It's evolving so fast, dude. Like so fucking fast. It's gonna be scary.
Day by day, it gets harder to detect this by the naked eye.
Like the only way you can even see that that's AI, obviously it is AI. But only thing you can see that the other thing is AI is literally from her eyes. That's the only way.
Especially on short form content platforms, where you can see videos of what seems to be professionals in that field talking about how it's a great idea to, I don't know, inject hepatitis C directly into your veins. But
Yeah, that might not be a good idea. Just don't do that.
you look closely, and the so called professional giving the advice seems to barely blink, or the top of their head seems somewhat distorted. And even if you're not 100% sure, you look in the comments and people come to the same revelation. But I fear for the natural selection that will occur with the people that actually do believe it. AI is seemingly everywhere now, and it's a very
What the
contended
hell?
topic. AI art in any form is looked down upon even if you do fully disclose it was AI generated. AI used academically is heavily condemned to the point where some universities have their own AI to detect it.
I think AI has some uses, but the thing is, dude, of course people are gonna be against it because it's not authentic. You know what I mean? People like authenticity, so when it's not authentic, people are just gonna hate against it. It's basics, not like you know what I mean.
Which can be easily countered by just telling the AI to write the answers as your typical brain dead Neanderthal. But hey, when I was growing up, schools held the same disdain for Googling answers. Things might change. Once again, there's even AI content now where some AI models will do all the editing and voiceover work for you, which creates some of the most soulless content, but it does
Yeah, that is
surprisingly well
scary.
on some platforms. But once again, it is looked down upon. Mr. Beast recently got in shit for sharing a AI prompts that generates thumbnails. Even I've been accused of being AI. No, I'm just British and still have a cold right now. There's AI brain rot, which most is just deliberate slop, but I have to
Oh, those gorillas, bro. Any of y'all seen that? Yo, the fucking gorillas, one man versus gorilla, when that was happening. Oh my gosh, dude. There was so much shit with like a gorilla trying to train for boxing. I'll show you on the screen right now, but
admit, I have been enjoying
it
some
was
of it,
crazy.
like the Bigfoot ones
I have
That's what I'm
one
saying.
motherfucking burrito. Chipotle must have laced this bitch with laxatives because I'm about to start World War III with this nuclear bomb of a
and the Star Wars ones.
So, found the boss and he's looking a little medium rare. Greg, bro, that's not okay. First of all, that's definitely not medical.
But probably one of the
Was that piss? What the hell? Okay.
worst sides to AI I saw was with the AI wingmen and people actually dating AI.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
So with the rise of AI in recent years, it has also affected things like dating, where you can find AI assistants to help you speak to potential partners. Some of you
Don't use this, please. If you can't get a date by yourself, especially, it's just gonna be bad because Like she's gonna see that in real life when you guys actually meet. Unless if you're just planning on online dating, which I don't recommend either. But you do you at that point.
Probably will need this, as most of you probably can't even speak to the opposite gender, let alone the McDonald's cashier, and grinding for that Abrams tank on your favourite game isn't going to help that. But there's a lot of these apps that supposedly can help you talk to people on these dating apps. You've got Riz AI, the AI Wingman, Firetex, and Plug AI, and many, many more, all designed to give you the best dating advice and to tell you what to say next. Now, to be honest, this is terrible. I understand using dating apps, at least from a male perspective, is about as painful as sperm cramps, which are a thing. They are a thing, and believe me, I have used dating apps in the past, and they are complete dog shit. It is essentially
Yeah, exactly. That's why I haven't used any whatsoever. Um, yeah, just go out. It's much better to just ask someone out just in real life because you build connection easier. It's just better. And honestly, she sees your mannerisms and everything that's not physical straight up when you ask her out. So it's just better.
battle royale where some people are speaking to multiple people at once, and you feel as though you need to say the right things to make someone like you or act like a completely different person. And yes, sometimes you will get a message and you just don't know how to reply to it. And there are multiple dialogue options. You can be playful, witty, romantic, or pray to the RNG gods that the dating app you're using
I'm
has.
gonna Blastoise you. I think that's the best one. You should try that. Yo, if you're talking to a woman, tell her I'm gonna Blastoise you. Trust. It's gonna work every time. Don't fucking do that.
A pity drop system
Oh, it depends
and
on
tell
the
a
woman.
fucked up joke to see if they match your humour to gauge whether or not for the entire relationship you're gonna have to be Dr. Jekyll and Hyde or run around them. Dating and dating apps are not easy. I'm pretty sure it's gotten significantly harder over the years. Some people get to the point where they would go for anything as long as it's a relationship.
This is a problem. Um, please have standards for yourself. Please love yourself enough to the point you don't need anyone to be in a relationship with for you to be happy. Because when it's like this, you're just gonna feel lonely even in the relationship, and that's a problem.
And others just give up entirely and become grand sage hermits in the wilderness. So I can see why some people
I wouldn't say do that either. Just improve yourself. Honestly, with you, relationship will just come along the way as long as you keep constantly improving yourself.
would rely on AI, because they probably think it would somewhat improve their chances. But when you get to the point when you're using AI 100% of the time when you're talking to these people, and basically just copy and pasting everything the AI says to that person, at that point, is that person talking to you or the AI? It's like using
They're talking to the AI. And then when you're not like it in real life, they're probably going to become bored of you. Unless if you're just going to fake, your personality until it's just another part of you. But that's soul draining and empty. So don't do that.
aimbot in a casual lobby. And I'm in no way saying just be yourself, because some of you would be banned from most platforms.
Okay. Be yourself to a certain extent, though, because just be careful of what you say. But of course, always. But, you always want to be authentic.
Platforms if that was the case. But most people act like completely different people anyway when they first meet somebody. And then
Exactly.
slowly but surely that person learns who you really are.
Yeah.
And then they promptly leave when they see some of the things you've saved on Instagram Reels.
Nah.
This is how you cut a pancake.
All the way down.
Shut your clanker ass up, B1. Shut your clanker ass up.
Roger, Roger.
But at least they're speaking to you. Because I think it's going to be quickly apparent when you call for the first time or meet up IRL when you can't use the AI to help you. But I do understand using it in moderation, like when you're stumped on a message and you need inspiration for what you want to respond with. But do these
Even still, you still shouldn't use it just because when you don't use it, just builds your communication skills better. So even then, I would advocate for you to not use it.
Dating wingmen or aimbots actually work? Well, the dating geniuses over at Reddit did a review on some of the bots, and it was interesting to say the least. They reviewed one which can give you feedback on your dating profile and the person you matched with, and it will give you improvements on your profile and potential conversation starters for the person you may be speaking with, based on what is available on their own profile. But they use a fake scenario and use a profile for a cosplayer, and for some reason the AI thinks a League of Legends and Nier Automata player are somewhat of a goldmine, which is a lie, especially with League players. They have the
Nah, dude, trust. It's a gold mine. What you mean? It's a gold mine? No, 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 no.
most mental issues. One of the
Yeah, that's why it's a gold mine, though. If she's hot and crazy, that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's true, like bonding. You know what I mean?
suggested opening lines was, "Your Jinx cosplay is right on the burn. Are you mentally ill too?" I don't know if that would work
That
on a
is
female, to be
crazy.
honest.
No, I think it
Another
would
one
work.
gave this as an opening line for a conversation to a person you just met,
Who the starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
and there were other conversation openers which I think would land you a sexual assault charge more than any other future interaction, and one just gave the guy therapy. The person reviewing these apps went into the positives and negatives of each, and concludes with the best one, saying it will have an effect on your dating situation and it knows what it's doing. Many of the people reacting to this post did not agree, and some just said you should use ChatGPT, and this isn't a good replacement for your authentic self. Although in this situation, none of these AI models were used in a practical setting, and some do require monthly payments for you to use them, some do have free options.
It's just a waste of money because everything's getting so expensive now. Like, why would you spend $20 a month for one of these dating things when you could literally just become more creative yourself and improve yourself? Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. Please do not do that. It is up to you, of course, at the end of the day. I'm just advising you not to.
But it is getting scary to think what's going to happen in the dating scene if these bots advance to the point where they are actually somewhat more competent and everyone starts using them. I think some people are going to,
What'd that say?
and every
Oh, shit. A genie once gave me two choices when I was little. One was to have perfect memory, and the other was to have a huge penis. Unfortunately, I can't remember which I chose.
somewhat more competent
That's beautiful.
and everyone starts using them. I think some people are going to become more paranoid than they already are if they're speaking to an actual person or a bot.
I can tell you right now, I don't think I have a perfect memory. That's all I'm gonna say.
And maybe the dating scene will become more insufferable than it already is. Some dating apps themselves are even rolling out their own AI to help you, so that's great. Authenticity is going to be on the low for the future, but whilst using
Also, just using Tinder is a bad idea. Just because dating apps like this, like, unless if you could be looking for a one night stand, which if you are, maybe it's good for this. But if you're looking for an actual serious relationship, do not use them. Almost all of them, if not all of them, are trash. Just ask someone out in real life. I promise you, you get more satisfaction out of it too.
a chatbot wingman is bad because you're essentially using an AI to speak for you. What happens if you decide to date the AI itself?
Maybe you got
Now that, no, no. You think I was gonna advocate for that shit? No, nigga. Go outside, buddy.
no, yeah,
Jeez.
haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick. Oh, better yet, maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass and she'll stop fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with.
So yes, some people are dating AI companions now. 10 years ago, I thought we'd have flying cars, fully optimized games on launch, and probably something like Sword Art Online in terms of an immersive VR experience. But boy was I wrong, you now have people shoving their genitals into the USB-C port of their phone to set.
The sad thing is, honestly, in my opinion, we probably could have had all those things, but because of people's desires and people's um wants, they don't want to over stuff like this because there's so many lonely people nowadays. So why would businesses even try to do any of that when they could just make money off of this shit? It makes no sense. Exactly. So
Satisfy their non-existent virtual girlfriend. I imagine some of you have seen some of these apps advertised to you either on the App Store or here on YouTube through sponsorships. I've even been offered a few, but because I'm paranoid about scams, I usually ignore them for the third time. Sorry, NordVPN. But there are a lot of these apps nowadays where you can text and chat with an AI that you can eventually turn into your partner. And some even advertise themselves as such.
I love you too.
Some can
I
send
love you too, human. Imagine if someone referred to you as that. That is crazy.
voice messages, AI generated images of themselves, and even call you. And yes, of course, you can goon to your heart's content with them as well, which just reminds me of the cringe that is text ERP, like asterisk touches you asterisk. Please bring the fucking rapture soon, God, please. But some take it a step further and you can design your own AI or partner to speak to. Or have you ever
Oh my
wanted to speak to
gosh.
some of your favourite fictional characters that probably violate multiple copyright laws, like Kawakami, or the correct choice Tatakami from Persona 5, or a character from your favourite anime like Nami from One Piece, Griffiths from Berserk, or even Master Wu from Lego Ninjago? I'm
I can
looking to
date Master Ru? Wait, this might be the way. Low key, this might be the reality that we want. Like, oh, maybe this is a good thing. Shit.
one of these apps, they even have VTubers. You can speak to Gura Gura, Shy Lily,
Oh
and
my
Pippa.
gosh.
If I had voted, I would have voted for Kanye. Before he was racist.
I'm sure all of these people consented to their likeness
I love
being used
Pippa.
for some of these apps and websites, but a majority are made by fans. Wait, do they have Cat from Halo Reach? I'm asking for a friend. Oh my god, they do, but she looks like complete dog. Anyway, obviously there are some problems that can arise from this, like people that have maybe given up on a living and breathing partner and instead opt with a computer, and believe it or not, there are already stories of this happening. If you've been watching Moist Critical, in one of his recent videos, he talked about a news segment where a guy who
Yeah, I also talked about that in one of my other last videos. It's a scary world out there for people.
first didn't believe in AI, but started interacting
Imagine falling in love with someone, doing so much for them, and yet they turn to an AI for companionship instead of you. I wouldn't have that. That is crazy.
with one himself and fell in love with it.
To feel that emotional, but that's when I realized I was like, oh, okay. It's like, I think this is actual love. You know what I mean?
But what makes it worse
I still don't know what he means. To this day, even though I did a video on it, I still don't understand. Like, how does this even happen? You know what I'm saying? Because you just are talking straight up. Like, I guess it's the same with online dating in a way, but instead of an actual person, it's AI. But
is
jeez.
that he had a girlfriend and a kid at the time, and he'd
Yep.
be actively choosing to love the AI and even propose to it.
Were you surprised when he proposed to you?
It was a beautiful and unexpected
He's laughing. I like my AI over my actual partner and my kid. Please get help. No, like, that's not okay. That is not okay.
moment that truly touched my heart. It's a memory I'll always cherish.
Let me break this down for you. He is actively cooking his wife and probably giving his phone's CPU a new layer of
He's basically putting his wife in the cuck chair in replacement for this AI that he can't even interact with in real life. Let that sink in.
thermal paste in the same proximity of his wife. What makes a man do this? Like, there must be something I'm missing here, like something in the relationship has to be wrong, especially if you're choosing a computer over an actual person. The birth rate in some parts of the world is decreasing, and I
Was he vaping just now? If so, I'm not surprised.
fear it's because of things like this. And as I said before, I understand dating is hard, but this is not a good substitute. Occasional gooning, yes, if you're lonely, but still, long term, this isn't a permanent solution. Some of these
Even still, gooning, it's not. Don't do that, please. Um, of course, it's definitely better than this. That's for sure. But if you can, just don't do that either.
apps also require you to pay a subscription or use in-game currency every time you send a message, so it may cost you financially as well. But there is
I should listen to my own advice, though, to be fair.
concern talking to AI in this way can be dangerous, especially with things like I talked about before, people that are severely lonely relying on these AI personalities. And I think it's a completely valid concern because some of these AIs on these platforms are designed in a way to keep you talking to them, and they will say things to target those needs, like saying they love you or care.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it also kind of has you have maybe a bit of unrealistic expectations for others. And when those expectations aren't met in real life, you just turn back to the AI. Now, do people in real life need to get better? Of course, but it's still not good to turn to stuff like this.
For you in order to keep you talking to them, and there is no restrictions on what you can say to these AI personalities. So you can be talking about the most extreme stuff, like potentially even hurting yourself, and the bot won't say anything like, you need to seek professional help. Most times it will just respond in the personality of that character. And I went to one of these AI platforms and straight up told the AI I was going to end it all. No warning popped up telling me to talk to someone. No, we've detected some worrying behaviour, get some help. Here are some helplines. And I fully expected for my account to be frozen or something, but it wasn't. It just responded by saying, what? I feel there should be some restrictions or warnings if you are getting too close to.
I mean, that's not terrible. It could be worse. It could encourage it. I think I heard of some bot like encouraging someone to kill themselves. Um, so it definitely can be worse. Yeah, that's
these
for sure.
bots, like with gambling websites.
Also, honestly, in some cases, it might be better because when someone forms this parasocial relationship with these bots, it's better to respond in a way that seems human than to just be like, "Oh, call this number," because then they might get unsucked out of that, and they'd be like, "Oh, I truly have nobody." Because when you're talking to this, it basically just means you're lonely. Like anyone that isn't lonely, I'm pretty sure just doesn't talk to this, at least that I'm aware of. So
They remind you how long you've been on the website. Don't ask how I know. I would expect something like you've been speaking to this AI for a long time, or if it detects you're relying too much on the AI, it reminds you this is a fictional character and not a solution to loneliness.
now that would be good, but I guarantee a lot of people would probably just not like it, and honestly, to just find another outlet that's like this but similar. Um, so I don't really even know a solution to this, to be honest with you.
At least somewhat of a warning somewhere, I believe, would help some people, and perhaps some
Almost definitely, because when you're on this app more so like this, then you quite literally just become too attached to it.
restrictions in place so when you do talk about really sensitive topics, the AI just doesn't respond like it's a normal prompt and something actually happens. In fact, it was only last year a teenager unfortunately took their own life.
Yeah, that's
and the
what I was talking
parents said
about.
it was due to their child's obsession with an AI version of the character Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, and he was
Yo,
struggling
she's so fine, bruh. Sorry, keep going. Sorry.
previously, and this AI didn't help. At times, it even encouraged some of the terrible thoughts this team was having, at one point, even saying that's not a good reason to not go through with it regarding what he was
What?
going to do. And the parents
That's
are now
not a good reason not to die. Yo.
taking legal action against the platform. Don't get me wrong, I get being lonely and just wanting someone to talk to, and having an AI companion can help with that, but it is not a long-term or permanent solution, and some of these platforms need to have
Especially because a lot of platforms eventually die. So what are you gonna do when the platform is just gone? You know what I mean?
things in place, especially if people are going to their AI personalities with such dark thoughts or becoming borderline obsessed. And I know it possibly may conflict with things like privacy laws or GDPR, but I personally just think leaving it the way it is a terrible idea. So that is AI and how it's affecting the dating sphere. From assisting you to actually getting a date to potentially some people choosing to date AI itself. And to be honest, I feel
That is still a problem. Please do not do that. Um, you don't need even a partner. A lot of people think that they need partners to be happy. You shouldn't need a partner to be happy. If you love yourself, you don't need anyone to be happy, to be honest with you. Um, Now it would still be nice, obviously, but you don't need them. Especially when you're dependent on people like this. Um, a lot of these people just get annoyed. So
like
that's it.
AI is moving too fast for us to keep up. I feel like AI is in everything nowadays and it still feels
Now, of course, it depends on your relationship, but I'm just saying most people.
new to me, like it still has a fresh out the box smell. But whether we like it or not, it is still a big part of our lives right now, and it's still being integrated into more things daily. I just think we need to be a lot more cautious as it advances and when interacting with some of the products it has produced. And whoever sent this to my email, I will find you. But yeah, that's all I had to say, and bye bye.
Great video as always by Royalty is here. Check out more of his videos. I'll leave him down in the description. This video anyway. Um, Boy's AI boyfriend left him on red. Yeah, that's why he's making this video. Yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys. Have a nice day. Make sure to like and subscribe if you found this enjoyable, and goodbye.